This is ASMR to the G, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Tonight's video is going to be a little bit like the last one. Well, kind of sort of like the last one. I figured since you guys liked the Friends facts that I would continue. So I found another site that has 70 Friends facts every superfan should know. Before I begin, I just wanted to mention that we've hit a little milestone for me, which I am so grateful for. We've reached 50 subscribers, and I want to thank each and every one of you for subscribing. The more of you that subscribe, the larger our channel will grow. So thank you for that. I appreciate every single one of you. And now, let us begin. So, 70 Friends facts every superfan should know. They don't know that we know they know we know. From Jennifer Aniston jumping up behind the infamous Central Park couch and surprising fans, to Courtney Cox sharing never-before-seen throwback photos of the crew, the Friends frenzy is back. Not like it ever left. It's been 26 years since the first episode aired, and the legendary sitcom remains one of the most watched TV shows. But with the recent reunions, thank you Jennifer Aniston's Instagram, and rumors of a reboot, Friends is having a moment. In Chandler's voice, can we be any more excited? Whether you're rewatching the series or brushing up on your trivia, these 70 fun facts are a need to know for anyone who considers themselves a Friends superfan. It wasn't always called Friends. The show's working titles were Insomnia Cafe, Friends Like Us, and 6 of 1, before everyone settled on Friends. The credits weren't shot in New York. The opening was shot at Warner Brothers Studios in California. There's a reason you've never been able to find the fountain on the East Coast. No one was a real fan of the theme song. According to Jennifer Aniston, we felt it was a little, I don't know, dancing in a pond. A fountain felt sort of odd. She says the only reason they did it, because they were told to. Before the pilot aired, the cast went to Vegas. They dined at Spago inside Caesar's Palace to enjoy the last shot at anonymity. The cast would return some 6 years later to shoot Mr. Rachel's wedding to Mrs. Ross and Joey's movie Veil, among other things. Number 5. Courtney Cox was just like Monica. In 1995, show co-creator Marta Kaufman told the Los Angeles Times that Cox had the neatest dressing room. In the same interview, Cox said, "Okay, I am a neat freak. Not about myself. I don't use a lint brush or anything, and I don't iron, but I could easily pick lint off someone else." To quote Ross, Monica. Number 6. Friends was supposed to have just 4 friends. Phoebe and Chandler were originally written as supporting roles. Can you even imagine? 7. Monica and Joey were supposed to get together. According to Kaufman, the studio's audience response to Monica and Chandler first getting together was so overwhelming, the show went in a different direction. 8. The names of all 6 friends were inspired by characters from All My Children. Chandler is for the Chandler family. Rachel's last name is for Janet Green. Ross is for Ross Chandler. Monica is for Monique Daisy Cortland. Joey is for Joseph Joey Martin. or so. Number 12. Hank Azaria auditioned for the role of Joey twice. It's okay. He was destined to play David and go to Minsk for a really long time. Maybe too long. 13. Jane Lynch auditioned for Phoebe. So did Kathy Griffin. Obviously, we're going to need to see those tapes now. Jane eventually did appear on the show as a real estate agent in the final season. So some of these guys we did hear in the last video, but that's okay, we still have a lot more to go. Let's see, the next one is about the identity of the actor who played Ugly Naked Guy. It wasn't revealed until 2016. Thanks to a Huffington Post investigation, memorize this name for your next trivia night. John Hagen. We applaud you. Number 15. Paul Rudd got the role of Mike after casting director wrote "dreamy" in her notes. According to Leslie Litt, we had a casting session for that role, but no one was quite it. Paul agreed to do a one-time meet and read with Lisa Kudrow. All I wrote on my note was "dreamy." By the way, guys, if you hear some weird noises in the background, that's my dog. I apologize. Number 16. There was an intervention for Jennifer Aniston's tardiness. David did it very kindly. Aniston later told Us Weekly, "That day my alarm didn't ring." There's a reason. 17. There's a reason. The one where no one's ready takes place entirely in Monica's apartment. Showrunners used a bottle episode format for this season 3 favorite due to budget restrictions, as it was later revealed in 2005 in a 2005 special, Friends Final Thoughts. 18. Lisa Kudrow hated the guitar at first. In fact, she suggested that Phoebe play the bongos. Thankfully, the guitar stuck. 19. Bruce Willis. Guest starred on the show after losing a bet. The bet was with Matthew Perry, his co-star in The Whole 9 Yards. Rumor has it that Bruce donated his money to charity. Either way, he will always be the neatest guy. 20. Monica is actually older than Ross. Courtney Cox is 2 years older than David Schwimmer, despite playing his little sister. The orange sofa in Central Perk was found in the basement of Warner Brothers Studios. You know what they say about one man's trash becoming one of the most famous couches on TV. 22. Monica's apartment number changed from 5 to 20. The change was made after the writers realized an apartment with number 5 did not denote a unit on a higher floor in who says it's her favorite episode of Friends ever. That whole week, while driving in LA, people would pull up and give me a very sad look and a quiet thank you for making them laugh. 42. Justin Timberlake really wanted a cameo. According to show co-creator David Crane, there was a meeting with Justin Timberlake, but we didn't have a good part for him. 43. Joey and Phoebe could have been the thing. In 2016, Matt LeBlanc told EW, toward the end we actually pitched the idea that Phoebe and Joey had been having casual sex the entire time. We'd go back and shoot all the historical scenes, and just before a moment that everyone recognizes, there's Joey and Phoebe coming out of a broom closet together, but they were like, nah. 44. The espresso machine at Central Park was never on because it was too loud. That was a real antique coffee machine. I never actually made one coffee, James Michael Tyler Gunther told BuzzFeed. The finale caused Matt LeBlanc so much anxiety, he started smoking again. I had quit smoking for 4 years, and in that final 2 weeks, I started smoking again because we were so aware that our time together was coming to an end, he told Vanity Fair in 2012. 46. When the series wrapped, each cast member took home a piece of Central Perk, specifically pieces of the fake sidewalk outside Central Perk. 47. Central Perk was torn down to become the airport where Rachel takes off from, but as we all know, she got off the plane, which makes a tear down a waist. No, a tear down, sorry. Jennifer Aniston almost said no to the final season. Speaking to Matt Lauer in 2004, Aniston said she had a couple issues with another season. I wanted it to end when people still loved us and we were on a high. And then I was also feeling like, how much more of Rachel do I have in me? She eventually agreed to the final season as creators lowered the episode count from 24 to 18. 49. The creators knew early on that Ross and Rachel would end up together. We had digged the audience around for 10 years, and there will they or won't they, and we didn't see any advantage in frustrating them, according to David Crane. 50. Long before Hollywood started tackling the pay gap between male and female actresses, everyone on Friends earned the same per episode. By the end of the show's run, each friend was earning $1 million per episode. Today's pay issues have left Lisa Kudrow fuming. I remember reading that they wanted to give David Schwimmer a raise, and that he said it wasn't fair that he was getting paid more than everyone else, and he thought that everybody should get paid equally, or else he wasn't gonna continue with the series. And I think that's when they decided that everyone would be getting the same pay. That's loyalty. 51. Shoot nights can go as late as 1 or 2 a.m. If the audience got too tired, they would sometimes be swapped out for a fresh one. 52. Rachel was originally supposed to propose to Joshua right after Ross got engaged. When Aniston shot that scene after Ross's engagement, the live audience was so sad that the writers decided to move it to the next episode so everyone could have recovery time. 53. Netflix paid $80 million to keep it streaming in 2019. After the internet lost its mind when news broke that Friends would leave the streaming service in 2019, Netflix paid a reported $100 million 62. Matt LeBlanc helped a member of the royal family with her lines. Sarah Ferguson, Duchess of York, was so nervous in her cameo that LeBlanc kept running lines with her to calm her down. 63. Brad Pitt previously dated Jennifer Aniston's co-star and on-screen sister. Before there was Bennifer, Brad Pitt dated Christina Applegate, who guest starred as Rachel's sister Amy. I think that Thanksgiving episode with Brad Pitt has to be one of my favorite episodes. I think he was absolutely hilarious in that episode. David Schwimmer directed 10 episodes of Friends. One of the episodes he directed was the one where the group finds out that Ross is the father of Rachel's baby. 65. The cast was just as emotional as we were when the show ended. It was just awful shooting that last episode, Jennifer Aniston recalled. I mean, the last scene, we just wept, cried our eyes out. And then a couple of us stayed really late and we crawled up to the roof of stage 24 at Warner Brothers and we drank champagne and watched the sunrise. It was really wonderful. 66. Courtney Cox Instagrammed the Friends cast Last Supper before the final episode. On January 23rd, 2020, Cox shared a picture of the crew dinner before filming the last one. It was exactly 16 years to the day since the series finale on January 23rd, 2004. 67. Courtney struggled to get pregnant in real life. Like her character on the show, Cox and her then husband David Arquette had trouble getting pregnant. 68. Rachel gave birth in the show at the same time Courtney Cox had a miscarriage. Cox had a miscarriage and Rachel was giving birth. It was like this at the same time. Oh my god, it was terrible having to be funny, said Cox in an NBC interview. 69. Monica's refrigerator actually worked. The cast and crew kept snacks and drinks in the fridge. And the last one, 70. Friends creator knew it was going to be a big hit at the very first rehearsal. In a 2019 Rolling Stone interview, Marta Kaufman recalls the moment that she knew the show was going to be huge. It was during the first rehearsal when Kaufman got chills up and down her spine and thought, this is special. There is something about these six, this script for them, that's special. So guys, that was the last one. I hope I've helped you relax. Thank you for joining me once again. I want to thank you again for my 50 subscribers. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so that we